Hello and welcome to the Alpha Edge Podcast, the show for men over 50 who refuse to fade out, slow down, play small, or settle for average. I'm your host, Kevin English. I'm a healthy aging expert, coach, and founder of the Alpha Edge, and I am here to help you get and stay strong in every dimension of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, morally, and spiritually. You're here because you're ready to reclaim your power, to own your masculinity, and lead your life with strength and purpose. If you're ready to sharpen your edge, revive your drive, and lead like a man who's built for more, you're in the right place. All right, men, let's get after it. Okay, guys, we've been told that masculinity is dangerous, and I 100% agree. But here's the twist. That is not a bad thing. That's the best thing, because the kind of man we're building here on the Alpha Edge, he is dangerous, and that's exactly what this world needs more of. All right, so this idea for this podcast that men need to be dangerous, we should be dangerous, comes from me repeatedly saying to my men's group, the Alpha Edge Tribe, as well as to other men, that we should be dangerous. And I'll often say that as we should be dangerous in the best way possible. I've probably said that in some previous episodes here, but I've gotten a little bit of pushback. I get a puzzled look, or people are like, well, wait a minute. Like, Kev, what do you mean we should be dangerous? I thought we were supposed to be good, not dangerous men, right? And I get it. Look, our culture has certainly blurred those lines. We've equated dangerous men with out of control men, with toxic men, with abusive men, with uncontrollable or unpredictable rage. But I'm here to reclaim that word. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a strong man, a truly good man, you must be dangerous. You must become dangerous. So we're going to talk about what that looks like, and that's what we're unpacking here today. So I want to talk about the true meaning of dangerous. And look, when I say dangerous, I don't mean reckless. I don't mean violent or volatile. I mean capable. I mean grounded. I mean power with control. A dangerous man is one who walks into a room and commands presence, not by flexing or not by barking orders or being a loudmouth or obnoxious, but simply by who he is, by his presence. He's steady, he's calm, he's composed in chaos. And that man, he can't be controlled. That man is dangerous. In a culture that is constantly shifting, chasing comfort, chasing approval, canceling anyone with a spine, that kind of man is a threat. Because he is not swayed. He's not begging for validation. He's not bending the knee to trends. And because of that, he's often feared and he's labeled dangerous. But in the best way. He's the one who speaks the truth even when it's costly. He's the one who protects his family without hesitation. He's the one who knows his values and refuses to compromise on them. So this is the kind of man that we're building here in the Alpha Edge. Now, let's talk about why it's so important for dudes, specifically dudes over 50, to reclaim their edge and to become dangerous men. So just some straight talk here, guy to guy. A lot of guys our age have been tamed. We've been neutered by comfort, softened by years of playing it safe, quietly withering in a life of routine, regrets, and resignation. These guys have lost their edge. But that edge, that's your strength. That's your fire, your leadership, your presence. And now more than ever, this world needs strong, grounded, wise, dangerous older men to lead the charge. Look, we're not 25 anymore, but we've got something better. We've got clarity. We've got experience. We've got wisdom. We've got resolve. If you've still got breath in your lungs, it's not too late to reclaim your edge, to become the kind of man your younger self would admire and your family and your community desperately need. So with that being said, I want to talk about 5 ways that you can become dangerous today. So let's break this down. Becoming a dangerous man isn't an abstract. It's practical, it's tactical. And here are 5 key domains to train if you want to become the kind of man that the world respects and evil fears. In other words, this is what we're going to do to become dangerous men. All right, the first domain is the most obvious domain, I think, when we talk about being a dangerous man, and that is the physical domain. So being strong, becoming physically strong, becoming physically dangerous. I wanted to start here. I want to start with your body. Now, look, you don't need to look like a cover model or some kind of action hero, but you do need to be capable. Can you defend yourself? Can you protect your wife if something goes down? Can you lift up and carry a 50-pound bag of dog food without throwing out your back? Now, Let me be clear on this. Let me be, in fact, crystal clear on this. You should be capable of violence. You should learn how to fight, not because you're looking for trouble, but because trouble sometimes has a way of showing up when you least expect it. So think about this. When's the last time you threw a punch? Or better yet, when's the last time you took a punch? Were you in grade school, high school? Chances are most of you have not expressed your physicality, your strength in this way. And I like to look at this side of being physically dangerous like this. There's a saying that goes something like, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. So I would start here when it comes to being physically dangerous. A, are you just doing the basic care and feeding of your body? Are you choosing foods that honor your body and nourish your body and allow you to build muscle? Do you have a strength training program? And are you working on getting and staying strong? And then from there, how do you express that strength? Are you capable of violence? And look, to be fair, when I say, are you capable of, in this case, physical violence, most of us, thankfully, will probably never have to call on that. But again, going back to, I would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. I think it's a good idea for you guys to get out there who maybe haven't done something like a jiu-jitsu or a Muay Thai or a boxing class. Get out there, join a brotherhood, and have a little bit of fun with that. But look, in a world full of soft men, if you just take 12 months of some sort of combat class, you're going to be in the top, 5%, maybe even 1% of men, and certainly in our age group. So I want you to strength train like your life depends on it, because one day it just might. I want you to start lifting heavy. I want you to do hard things on purpose, and I want you to push your limits. The man who builds his body builds his confidence. Every rep, every drop of sweat, it all adds up to a man who knows that he can handle himself, and that man is dangerous. All right, so that's the realm of being physically dangerous. So the next dimension is going to be the mental dimension, where we need to sharpen our mind. In other words, here's where we're going to become mentally strong. Look, the modern world wants your attention, and if it has your attention, it's got your mind. Kill the noise. Put down your phone. Turn off the news. Cut out the junk content. Read real books. Books that sharpen your mind, teach you how the world works, and reveal truth through story. Study history, philosophy, scripture. Read about the great men and how they rose, and yes, how they fell. A dangerous man doesn't just know what to think, he knows how to think. He's a critical thinker. He isn't easily manipulated. He sees the bigger picture. And in a culture built on distraction and dopamine and comfort, that alone makes you a dangerous man. All right, number 3, spiritual dimension. Fear God, not man. This is how we become spiritually dangerous. The most dangerous man in the world is the man who fears God and no one else, because when you answer to a higher authority, you become unshakable. Spend some time in the Word. Seek God. Pray with your kids. Lead your wife spiritually. Be the spiritual leader of your household. Psalm 144:1 says, "Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle." God trains men for battle, not just physical, but moral and spiritual. A man who knows who he is in his maker, who's grounded in biblical truth, who stands in conviction, he cannot be bought, bullied, or broken. The 4th dimension is the emotional dimension. This is where we master our impulses, and this is where we become emotionally dangerous. Soft men obey their feelings. Dangerous men master them. You want to be dangerous? Start by disciplining yourself. Wake up early. Make your bed. Train when you don't feel like it. Kill the porn. Stop chasing comfort and start chasing conviction. Every time you choose the hard path, you forge yourself into something stronger. Emotions are real, but they're not in charge. You are. And finally, number 5 is the social dimension. And this is where we're going to build a brotherhood. We're going to become socially dangerous, so to speak. We're going to become socially strong. Look, guys, I get it. A bunch of you out there are lone wolves. Lord knows I spent most of my adult life as a lone wolf, and I'm here to tell you it stunted my growth. Isolation is a killer. You weren't meant to walk this road alone. Even Jesus built a brotherhood. Dangerous men surround themselves with other dangerous men, men who sharpen them, call them up, speak truth, push them higher, hold them accountable. You need men in your corner who won't let you settle, who remind you of your mission when you forget it, who've got your back when life hits hard. And I'll finish with this. Know that brotherhood isn't optional, it's mission critical. All right, guys. So there's my 5 dimensions of becoming a dangerous man. I think you should be physically strong, physically dangerous. I think you should be mentally strong, mentally dangerous. I think you should be spiritually strong and spiritually dangerous. I think you should be emotionally strong, emotionally dangerous. And certainly we need to build a brotherhood. We need to be socially strong and socially dangerous. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Can I get an amen, brother? There we go. All right, so let's talk about why we should become dangerous. Because dangerous men protect what matters. Because a dangerous man doesn't just conquer, he protects. He protects his wife. He protects his children. He protects his home, his community. He protects the truth. As the leader and protector of my household, it's my job to guard against danger coming through my door. Now, that could be physical or otherwise. But men, when we become dangerous, that comes with some responsibility. Isaiah 1:17 says, "Learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, plead the case of the widow." Your strength isn't for show, it's for service. And when evil comes knocking, the world doesn't need soft men, it needs warriors, men who step into the fire and say, "Not on my watch." All right, so let's finish up here with a couple of questions here. Where in your life have you been playing it safe? Where have you traded danger for comfort? Where have you been hiding when you should be leading? Think of this as your wake-up call. Pick one area in your life, body, mind, spirit, emotion, or brotherhood, and make a move today. Don't wait. Do something hard. Speak truth. Forgive someone. Lift something heavy. Pray out loud. Apologize. Set a boundary. Take the lead. Reclaim your edge, because the world doesn't need fewer dangerous men. It needs more men like you, dangerous in all the best ways. And guys, if this message hit home for you, I'd love for you to share this episode with another guy who might need to hear it. And if you want to go deeper, if you're ready to become a part of a brotherhood that's walking this path together, make sure you check out the Alpha Edge Army. I'll leave a link below in the show notes. But remember this. You are not here to play small. You're here to lead, to fight, and to rise. So until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and above all, be dangerous. Okay, men, that's our show for this week. Don't forget to download our free guide titled How to Raise Your Testosterone Naturally. You can find the download link in the show notes for this episode on whatever app you're listening to this podcast on. If you've enjoyed today's show, here are 3 ways you can support us. Number 1, share this episode with a friend. Number 2, make sure to like and follow this show, and please consider leaving us a 5-star review. Number 3, give us a follow over at Instagram. We're at Alpha Edge Army. So that's Alpha Edge Army all run together. I really appreciate you men taking the time to listen, and until next week, stay strong.